least last time was set up in class. All right. For those of you online, sorry, I just saw your chat in there that you couldn't hear me. I wasn't mic'd up. Let me know if you can't hear me now. And if you can't see my screen, I think I'm shared. But yeah, let me know. Thank you for letting me know in the chat. I really appreciate it. And also, if you have any questions as I go through, feel free to put it in the chat as well. I'll check it, and then you can unmute yourself too if you want. Alrighty. So yes, so for those of you online, where I am and what we're doing right now is we're finding a listing to use today for today's listing marketing in case you don't have one of your own. I was explaining that at KWB, you can market any other KWB listings as well. So that's totally compliant. Now, it is recommended to just reach out to the agent to get their permission that you can market it for them. Like compliance-wise, you're good, but like it's just a good courtesy measure to do. Usually they always say yes because they want extra marketing for their listing. So I've not seen a case they've said no before. But with these listings, so we are in the listing section and we're searching for one, and we are able to filter by active listings as well as our market center listings to pull up ones that we can market. So based off this and based off your filters, feel free to pick one you like. I'm going to use this one right here. Oh, and that's Tasha's. And what's great too about this section is not only does it have all the photos, the details here, it also says the listing agent so that we can reach right out to that agent and ask for permission to market that listing. All right. That only we can see it or no? I think, does anyone know what that means? I actually don't know what that means. That's color exclusive, but I guess that could also be like that we have the listing. I think it's in office. Yeah. How random is that you picked one I picked? Like, oh, is this one and then an office one too? Oh yeah, color exclusive. Oh, you're right. Ah, good point. And I'm pretty, yeah, those are in office ones. Let's see if we can filter by that. Let's see if we can filter by that so we don't have it. Huh. Do you know the difference between an open listing and an MLS listing? I have two filter options. Huh. Open, I mean, an MLS, like exclusive is usually like, it means like you're working with one agent. Oh. Open is like, oh, like any agent. Yeah, like you're not trying with somebody. Right. Oh, okay. So like both of these might apply or no? Maybe MLS. Okay, I feel comfortable with MLS. Yeah, and I do hear agents like if they're finding a listing from our market center, yeah, usually you can find that also in the MLS, and then agents typically they tell me they find that in the MLS. So this might not even be an important step for you, but just to at least get one for today. Let's turn, yeah, we're turning on MLS listing, active, in Ballantyne area. Let's see what we get this time. Land. I don't want land either. Let me. Guess I can't do that. Oh. No. Okay. Okay, there's an extra property type drop down. I'm clicking residential because I'm getting a bunch of land. And after going through this, I agree that we should stick in the MLS if we're doing this for it. This has been way too confusing. Okay, I'm just going to use this one. I actually know this one. This one's one of our clients' listings, so I know it's live. I did residential, and I had to click show more before I saw residential as an option. Click show more, like underneath those options to see the top one. Yeah, I'm telling you guys. Like, all right, so we got our listing. That's what we're looking for. We made it. So now let's think about how we're going to create our marketing for our listing. So the best way to go about this is going to be through two sections.
we're going to create in the design section, and we're going to go send that out or share it in the campaign section. So let's start in the design section, and that's where we're going to create our content. So when we come here, your page is going to look different than mine. It saves all your work that you're working on. So this is like previous designs I've worked on. We did MLS listing. MLS listing. Yeah. Active. Did you do market center? I had it. Oh. Okay, yeah, I see it. Okay, and then yeah, click apply. Okay, and then you can pick any of it. It's gonna be different listings because of your map. Like I was viewed it zoomed in, so it probably just gave separate ones. To this page, in the design section. But you choose one of the listings. Yeah, I choose one of the listings for today's class. Okay. Well, okay. We can like just pick any listing on here, but here, I'll find mine. And really, actually, it would be much easier. I'll just like tell you as I go along because it's going to be hard to re-pull that up because I don't know it off the top of my head. Okay. So now that we're in the design section, we're going to click create design in the top right. And we're doing an email first. This is our first example. So we're going to do an email design and next. Nope, so we're in the design section now. So on the left-hand side, there's like a paintbrush icon, then create design in the top right, and email. And click next. So create design, email, and click next. Then we have templates in here, which is fantastic. So depending on your status that you're going to push this out about, we can select that one. So I'm going to use this for sale example. And I just click on it and I click next. And then we're just building out this email design. So what's great at the top, those are merge fields up there, and that's a branded header. So that will fill in with your information, and I'll show you that as well. Mainly what we need to switch out is like the property information. So kind of the steps to work on email designs, any element you're trying to change, double clicking will allow this panel on the right-hand side to appear. And we can make edits on the right-hand side and then save it to our design. So for this image, for example, we can click on replace. First, it shows up with like previously uploaded like photos that you've uploaded. But we also have the option to search by listing images. So here, we're able to either search by address, MLS number, KWS ID. For those of you who need an MLS number, first off, when we click over to listing images, our first step is going to be to change the search by dropdown to MLS number. Next, what to type in for this example, you can type in 421-6505. So that's the example one. Of course, you can pick any of them for example as well. Yes. 421-6505. And click search. And then you're able to click view on the one you're wanting to use. And what's great is that this pulls all from the MLS right in, so we don't have to go downloading those. No, I know, right? It saves my it's just all synced. And what's cool too is like, earlier how I mentioned like that KWS syndication. I get the question a lot, if I make changes in the MLS, is that going to appear on my website? It's not only going to appear on your website, it will appear everywhere, the changes that you're making in the MLS. Again, the power of the KWLS syndication. So if you add like a new first photo here, you will be able to pull that right in. And all we have to do is select and click replace. Right. It 421-6505. Yeah, it's Balcom. All right. Then, okay, this is an important part here. So what all the changes we're making on the right-hand side, you see how close save is up here? You would think that that would save it, right? No. This saves the entire design. What gets this to populate and save and stick to to our design is this arrow. This little arrow icon. That's what moves us along. But then of course you could click save and feel good about that saved. But that arrow is what's going to like, yeah, and I find it so too close to that save button to make sense user friendly wise. But is this something like, yeah, once you know it, it's kind of, once you get in the groove of this workflow, it will make much more sense. So just click that arrow to save our photo. Then we're moving right along down the page. Now, what we can also do as we are, so we can have this listing page up to make to help make our design. Or what I'd also might recommend so that we can use it for the button part of the email is that we search this listing up on our actual website as well. So in a new tab, let's open up our KW website by just pulling up, like typing in our website name. Here we're able to search by MLS number as well, right on our live site. So again, it's 421-6505. And once we type that in, you'll see like, instead of clicking search here, what I might recommend doing is clicking it from this drop down. It's going to save you an extra click because it's going to bring you right to this property page. Has all the photos from the MLS, the description. They can see open houses coming up, calculate their monthly rent. It's a really valuable page. It is a great page. And it's right on your website, right? Yeah. So I like having this pulled up in a separate window when I'm doing my email design creation because I can grab all the information about the listing right from here. So starting with the address, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and copy that address. Then I'm going to double click to open up the right-hand panel. And I'm going to paste this in. Little keyboard shortcut for those who love keyboard shortcuts. If you copy with like Control C, if you paste with Control Shift V, it will paste it without the formatting. So we can put that right in here. Again, all changes we're making on the right-hand side. So the formatting, the size of that, if you want to make it bigger. Everything, though, sticks once we click that arrow icon to move us along. Then we're able to fill out our beds and baths. Pretty straightforward. Low-key wish it was just like kind of autofilled, but it's fine. $21.06. And with square footages, just as a marketing tip, it's always good to put that comma in there because it has the illusion that the place is bigger if there's a comma in there. Right? I like things like that. Oh, yeah. It is. It's recorded. It'll be on YouTube. The beginning might be silent. Sorry. But it will have sound eventually. Oh, and I saw someone in the chat here. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, good. All right. Then we're able to select a couple more images as well. So again, kind of the same steps. I double clicked. I clicked replace on the right hand side with this replace image icon. I'm able to search by listing. And I can pull that right in. Also, alternatively, thanks for coming. Alternatively, if you don't want this section in here, you can also, just to show you like how to delete and remove stuff, just beware of the layout. So, right, if I clicked on this image and clicked the trash can icon, that would only remove that image from this area. Versus if I wanted to delete like this full section, looking out for these like kind of layout grids will make that a little easier for you. And then for the button, what we can do is actually link that right to our website so that they get all the details and they're driven right back to your website. So same kind of steps in the sense that we're going to click on it to open up on the right-hand side. We can change what this says, like if you want to say learn more, I like view listing, I think that's nice. And we can say link to, and then have web address. Then it's just prompting for that URL. So that's why I like to have this also pulled up, because then I can just copy it right from up top there and paste it into here. So when they click there, they are getting all that property info. Now, before I deleted that section with like the bullet points in there, so there are bullet points in there. And what I typically do with that part is I take the property description and I go to ChatGPT. Oh, and I spell it right. There we go. And I ask it to make me 4 bullet points. 4 short bullet points. Don't give it any leeway. Based off this info. And then I'd paste that in there and let it do that because, yeah, then I don't have to figure it out. And then like based off how long it is, you could also say rewrite and say slim down so that you can better fit it into that section so that you don't have to figure out what to put there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. And then I said, make me 4 short bullet points based off this info. And then I pasted that in there. And then and it was too long still. So I said, slim it down. And this is what it gave me, which I think would be very easy copy and paste to that design. Yeah. Kind of, I kind of ruined my own design when I deleted it. But let me just like open a new one. Okay, like this section here. Yeah, I just like removed it, but that would be how I would probably fit that in. Okay, and then, so what's great about these designs too is that your work is auto-saving. So you don't have to worry about, like I know there's a save button up there, but it is auto-saving too. There's like this little check mark that auto-saves when we make changes. I would recommend before we like move on that we give it a name in the a title in the top left. No one sees this, but it's just for your organization purposes, so you know what it is. And yeah, be sure to click save and close. Let me make sure. Oh, wrong one. Okay, awesome sauce. So now that we've created this content in the design section, and that would be the same with like social media as well. So like in our design section and create design, there's like social templates instead, where it's kind of the same kind of work. I didn't want to do one of those examples today per se, only because we're going to move to Canva so soon. So it's just not going to be applicable in like 2 weeks. So that's why I'm focusing on the email part today. But in the meantime, if you do have a listing before Canva rolls out, this is also where you get social media templates too. So by clicking designs and create design and doing social instead, that's going to bring different options that are social media based.
And how to put our What was her name?
I did not, but so what's great about those is those are merge fields. So those are pulling from your marketing profile in Command. What we can do is we can click on options and do preview, and it's going to show it filled in there. Yeah, that way we can feel good about it. Same with at the bottom. The bottom uses a lot of merge fields, like on the design, and those auto pull in.
Can you go up to the top here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that looks like that. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay, but it's like not what I like. Yeah. I haven't found a way to per se change that, and neither has Scott Leroy, because we.
I didn't notice that.
No, it is a thing. You could, like, technically compliance wise, you don't need it up there. Like, you could delete this section and your proper or your info is down here, but then your headshot's not up top. So I go back and forth. I'm like, is the scrunchness worth it? I honestly, we do send it with it like that because we want it branded at top. Yes, exactly. So yes, now we can click on save and close, and that's going to move us back into Command. And what's great is it saves, again, yeah, it saves it here. So if you need to come back and work on it, or even if you want to come back and click the 3 dots and make a copy for your next listing, you can also do that in case you're making like big changes to your template. Gosh, I love having you, Because I also get excited. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're just switching things out at that point versus like building out a whole email each time. Yeah, exactly. And it's just a bang switch and a, okay, but now that we created it, how we go send it out. So how we're going to go send this out is going to be through the campaign section, which is this megaphone icon. Which is the megaphone icon on the left-hand side. No worries. As you're, it's a, oh, well, that's why. Click save and close. Save and close. Okay, perfect. So now on the left-hand side, so, and two, as you're learning this toolbar, click that KW up there. That way you can see what they mean. So you, nope, campaigns. Yes. So once we're in this section, what we're going to do is we're just going to click create campaign in the top right. And we're doing an email, so we're going to click email. Create campaign. Email. Okay, now we're giving it a name and a goal. No one sees this except you, so this is just for your organization purposes, so you know what you're sending out. Guess I'm advertising a listing. And then we can keep command email. That doesn't change. So just the name and a goal, and then do create campaign. So in this section, we're kind of just going down on the left-hand side. We're going through each section. We already got 1 and 2 done. So really, we just get to skip right down to 3 and select our recipients. So as you are creating email lists, you're going to have this drop down with previously created email lists. But we can also create email lists here as well. So if we click on create list, it's going to pop up with your contacts with emails. So just a heads up, it's only showing the ones with emails in here. So common ways that you're going to build email lists is like through tag, right? Because that's the way you group your contacts together in Command. So if you're really clean and thorough about your database, like if you have the buyers tagged as buyer, sellers tagged as sellers, right? You could theoretically send just to buyers. Yeah, right. I have my. I know, that's ideal. That's the goal. I know contacts are so tedious.
I hate it so much. Well, not like I'm scared. I'm like I can't.
It's such a process.
But once I get it, I'll have it forever. Like, and then every person I can make it right.
Exactly. I do see, like, you know, they always say database is your data bank. I do see that, you know, especially with these agents that have been in it for a few years. It's like, especially if yeah, they're on top of it, which is like how with everything else in your business. It's like. Yeah, not awkward at all. Yeah, need your birthday. Oh, that's so true. Just throwing out an idea in regards to that. A giveaway is a great way to not awkwardly get contact info. Yeah, just throwing that out there because yeah, then they're more down to leave it. But I so relate. That's so funny. So yeah, a tags might be one way that we create email lists. But let's say we're just trying to create like an all contacts email list, right? First, we have to give it a name up at the top, and I have a bunch of these, so I need to just like give it some numbers. You don't have to put the numbers. That's for me. I have a lot of lists. Yeah. And then, so to create this all email list, okay, you can't just click select all. It will only grab 100 contacts at a time if we click select all from here and you have more than 100 emails. So what you have to do is scroll to the very bottom, and I don't have that many contacts, but yours will say, if you have over 100, load more. And you have to click load more until you actually see all your contacts. Then you can scroll up and click select all. Yeah. Yeah. I've submitted this to ideas.kw.com before. But no, yes, you bet. This is my but so far this is still the way. So just more so knowing this is the biggest thing. Um, and adding people to this email list. So that's something else. As you're adding more contacts to your database, this all contacts list doesn't automatically update. You do have to like edit this list and add the new people to the list. I'm with you. I'll say nothing. So yes, once we have that and click confirm, the last two things that we're just needing to build out here is the subject, which may I suggest ChatGPT again. I'm going to say, because I gave it my property description already for my bullet points, so I'm just going to say, now give me an email subject based off this listing as well. Ooh, no HOA. Let me sign up. All right. So then I'm just going to use that one. Of course, you can talk back to ChatGPT and have it sound more like you if you want to change that up. Or I like to just have it as like a starting place. Like even if I just like have this in here, I kind of know where I can go from here and I can edit it and make it sound more like me. The last thing we're doing is clicking select design, and so this is pulling all our email templates right in here. So we can, this one, right? Yes. So it will allow us to make final changes here if we would like, but clicking save and close is what's going to actually move us along. And we're going to see our email preview on the right hand side. What I like to do as a final step is this actions button. I can send a test email to myself, and it's going to send like the full thing with the subject and everything so that you can feel really good about like pressing send. But then, yeah, once you have that ready, you can either click send to send right away, or you can even schedule that out for a specific day and time. And that will send out to your contact list that you selected. I'm going to go ahead and save this as a draft so I can also show you how to get back to your drafts. So I've saved it here. So now going forward, like let's say we're in the home of campaigns, or sorry, of command. Once I come to campaigns, it's bringing us first to this like overarching campaigns dashboard, but we're going to see an email dashboard by clicking on emails. And so anything you've drafted, you can click on the three dots here and click to edit it. And you can also duplicate campaigns too. So if like you sent this out a couple months ago and the listing's still sitting on the market, well, feel free to just duplicate and rerun that with saving some time. Get that out there a second time.
What's the upgrading? Like, what do they want you to do? Why, like, you can only put 5,000 in your drive?
Yeah, per month.
Oh,
Yeah, every month you can send 5,000. So if you do go over that though, you can upgrade. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, resets on the 1st of every month, so should be good. Nice. So how do you guys feel about sending an email through command? Like, that was a listing example, but you can really use those email templates to be more sending out in email form. It's free and it's a professional channel, like versus like a text, for example. Emails do have that professional touch to them. So it is something to like, yeah, if add to your business as a nurturing tool.
Fortunately, it was ugly. Like
Yeah. Yes. So yes, with Canva. With oh, good, yes. Well, too, with those steps, like kind of knowing those steps on how to, right, switch out those images.
Yeah.
For example. So a lot of times, you're right, we don't build them through command. Typically, our emails, we build that through Canva, and then we use these templates for that. And like how we do that is like, yeah, because they're pretty in Canva.
Right.
And we download them as an image and then make the image the Canva piece.
Okay.
Which we will have lots of Canva classes once this rolls out, I promise. But yeah, that's like kind of like you can achieve. Yeah, I think that's exactly. Yeah. And the steps will be like pretty similar in the sense how you work with the email design section. So it's good to have that kind of like foundation. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do, okay, is kind of an ad. I'm gonna show how to do an ad in command, if that sounds good to everyone. Cool. But let's also, before I jump into the ad, so other ways that we can market our listing, right, is email and social media are the two free channels, and then getting them as well. So in our campaign section, at least talking about like commands, like marketing. So you can also do postcards right from command. So creating them as well as, so one, they can either target your database. So if you have addresses for your contacts, it will send them out wherever they are to your database. So talk about a great way to nurture your sphere as well. But what's also cool in this section, let's say we just want to target like the neighborhood instead to try to get the neighbors to pull in some extra leads for us. You can circle it on a map and it knows the addresses and does the postage and send out for you. Yes. So that is a paid feature. So it depends on the size and the postage. You're looking at like for 6x9, our favorites are 6x9. They're a little bigger than the 4x6, and they're like $1 per postcard. They send it. They do the postage and send it. Right? Yeah, it has a spot you put in your credit card information, and it does the rest. Yeah, it's really cool. If you're wanting to learn how to do that, because that is a whole class in itself, really, answers.kw.com. If you've not been here before, I use this all the time. You can ask it anything, like in command. And that's what's great about it, because command's a little niche. But now you can ask ChatGPT as well. Yeah. But answers.kw.com is a website. Yeah, with an S at the end. And you can ask it so if you want to do a postcard, for example, if you type in postcard here, it will walk you through how to do that. So step by step with screenshots so that you can go do it. Yeah. But yeah, it does all that right from command. Command's just the coolest. So, but for this though, we're going to focus on paid ads. So why postcards and paid ads are paid features is because you're not reaching your friends and followers, you're meeting or you're getting in front of unmets. So that's why it's a paid feature. Same with like the paid ads. So what this paid ad does versus like if we go post it on our Facebook page, right? That gets in front of our followers who are friends with us. When we run a paid ad, that we are able to choose a geographic location, and then it pushes it out to them based off their geographic location. So not based off if you're a friend. And okay, like strategically, like from what we've seen, we've run a lot of ads at this point. Typically, this does not sell the listing. Because they're pushing it on Facebook, right? If they were like hot leads, they'd be on Zillow. So Facebook is a disruptive form of marketing that they're seeing your listing there. So typically, they're going to be a little colder of leads. So it's going to be really important that you have a nurture system set up as well if you're running a paid ad, just so you have something nurturing them. Also, from what we've seen, when we run ads, that is typically to almost appease the seller. They are wanting to see some stats, what you're doing for them. So that's one reason that we typically run it versus actually like trying to sell the listing out there. Now, but that kind of depends on the listing as well. Like some of them, like we've run ads before that have captured good leads. So for example, we had one that had like 12 acres and we ran that to like New York City, San Francisco, like all these places with small yards. And she did get a good amount of leads. So I think it is kind of based off your listing and off your goal and your expectations. Just not going into it like, oh, running this ad, I'm going to sell this listing. More, it's like a way to grow your database and then nurture them through that. So um what I'm going to just throw out first, but I'm not going to go through in fully, is that having a nurture system set up already is going to be a good idea for paid ads. So smart plans, when you think of follow up and nurture, you should think of smart plans. So just a heads up, if you wanted to create your own smart plan for this follow up, you can to really make that effective. We're going to use one that's already in here called like the long-term nurture for when we set it up. And that one essentially just gives you tasks to remember they exist. So there is one kind of in there, but for example, if you wanted to create one that actually sent an email automatically when they came in, you could do that. So for running this ad, we're going to go into the campaign section. And then let's just go right up to paid ads at the white top toolbar and click quick start. Oh, shoot. Yeah. And then also, I'm sorry, I forgot one step. If in a new tab, you can stay there. If in a new tab, you go like to command again, I want to show you how we're going to also target them. So sorry to jump. In a new tab, open up command too. So what's cool about when we run these ads is we're actually able to, so by default, it targets like the listing location in around 15 or 20 miles around that listing location. But we're also alternatively able to like target custom cities, so we can pick those cities. And we're able to see where the top referral patterns are pulling from. So in command, there's this referral section. When we click on it, there's going to be an option to go up to a map. Let's click on map. And then first step, let's change the production drop down to referral patterns. Okay, it's going to put us in Austin by default, but we can change that in the top like leftish to Charlotte or wherever your listing might be. So now it's showing like all the top places people are moving away to, but if we click on the received button, now it's showing on the right hand side the top places that people are moving from to Charlotte. So now if we were to, we could run an ad to the top 10 of these places with statistical proof that these are the top places they're coming from. So to your sellers, you're like, look what I can do. And I can run an ad to the people that, to the top relocation spots in the US.
Charlotte is one of the top 10 relocation places in the United States.
Yeah, people are, yeah. Yeah, it's in there. And then these are the top 10 places people are moving from to Charlotte. So the top place is Columbia and Myrtle Beach and Tampa and Austin. So now that we have this in a separate tab, we can go back into our like Facebook ad creator, and we're going to use that information to target our ad. When we are selecting an ad program, so depending on if you've been here before, like in this section before, under assets and Facebook pages, you do need to connect your Facebook page up first. That's going to be first step. But once you are have that set up, when we are in dashboards, we are always going to want to use these ads that have the blue label on it. Those provide a Facebook lead form that pulls their contact information from their Facebook account, and it has Facebook's like logo up top, so it's more trustworthy for them to click submit and leave their contact information. So we'll always want to use one of these blue form or blue labeled ones. And they're just like based off your kind of your goal. So this is like single image or video. I only use this one if I have a video. And then usually for listings, I do the multiple image carousel. So first thing that it's going to want us to select is our listing. So I'm going to click on that. And this search section is a little confusing, I think. So to search for our listing, we need to click on filters. And then it's only wanting like the address line 1. Like if you put the full address, it struggles. But you can also search by other things. So if you find it like it's your listing and you just want to search by yourself or the MLS number, I think I'll do that one. And then once we put that in there, we are needing to select it from this once it loads. Okay. I'm probably going to refresh because I'm not patient. Oh, good. Let me know if I can go through those steps. I'm stuck on this step anyway. I'm on please add your listing and I'm clicking on it. And then you have to click on filters and search this way. I'm probably going to try by listing agent maybe. Okay. Jeez. Okay, I'll probably just pick this one for now. Okay, so we just need to select our listing, but that's how you find them, is under the filters, and then click select. Then the next part is the targeting that we were talking about. So yeah, by default it's listing location, but we can click to custom location and type in those cities that are the top places. Now typically I just kind of pull them up side by side and start typing them in. I haven't found really a quicker way to go about it. But basically just using that information, we're able to use that to pick our places.
Where it's going to set out to.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where it's going to target this ad. 10. Yes. So you pick the top 10. Then what's cool about, and I won't go through all the top 10 just to save a little time here. Then what's cool about this section too, especially for me, because I don't like words, is that there's this sparkle icon in the bottom right. And this helps you create your ad copy. So I click that sparkle icon in the bottom right, and I'm going to click on to help me make all inputs. And based off the listing description, it's going to create that for me. So all I have to do is click apply all. And boom. I'm off to the next step. Next, it does select the first 5 photos from the MLS by default. But if you're wanting to change that up, you can click the X icon and click the plus and pick another one from the MLS. These are all pulling from the MLS as well. So we picked our targeting, we picked our text, we picked our photos. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're good.
Wait. When you were would you flip that 15 all the way to the 50 photo, or like does that matter?
It does. It's recommended to do 30 tops. Yeah, because when it gets too widespread, I don't know why. It doesn't. They just recommend that you keep it more targeted to the location and not spread out your targeting too wide. I never questioned why though. Now I really want to know why. I just like take a number. I'm like, okay, I'll stick to 30. But now I'm going to look it up. So moving on down to the post submission destination. So this is where we can put our URL, same one that we use for the button, right, for our email. That's what I would recommend using as the destination URL or destination. Because what that's saying is that after they submit their contact information, where do you want them to go? So the best place would probably be with the property info so they can actually learn more. And I know it's not for the right listing, but just to get through. Next, we can also choose a tag for them to autofill in so that you know that what group they're coming in from. So what I recommend for this is having a Facebook ad tag. And I usually do it as Facebook ad, and then I do the address line 1. That can maybe messy up your tags, depending on how many tags you're wanting in your database. But I think it's really helpful to know which group, which listing they're coming in from. So I think I like having Facebook ad dash address line 1. And then for smart plans, if you don't have a custom one built out, what I might recommend using is just the My Long-Term Nurture. Again, nothing gets sent to them, but it does remind you that to reach out to them so you don't forget they exist. Then lastly, I mean, this is already done. We can leave that at default because it will have our logo in there. So lastly, we can click proceed to last step. And now we're choosing the duration and budget. So we hear it's best to run ads for 5 to 7 days for $5 to $7 a day. So that looks like a total budget of $35 to $50. Now, of course, like more money you throw into it for shorter duration is going to get pushed out more, and vice versa. So totally based off your budget. What I might recommend doing is starting on the low end, see how it performs. And then if it performs well, you can duplicate it and do more budget into it. If it doesn't perform well, you can switch things up, kind of like A/B testing, and see if another strategy might help that work better. So maybe the first time you ran it, it had a price improvement, so you're really focusing on that. But maybe next ad you focus on, oh, it's move-in ready, and you're trying to attract people who are trying to move into move-in ready homes. So how targeting works with commands, paid ads, one, what's cool is that automatically in the back end, the targeting is people who have Googled recently, Zillow, Realtor.com, JuLeah. So these are people who are Googling those terms, so they're more hot leads. But there's no extra targeting section in here for their interests, that's why the keywords, so your ad copy, like the headline and the description, those become really important for keywords and targeting because it does target based off those keywords. So if I have a 55 and up community, I want to make sure I put that in there so that it's targeting 55 and up communities because it's in my work, it's in my ad copy. Okay. Yeah. $5 to $7 a day. So yeah, you can select that from here. It does have this little estimation gauge so that you can gauge that. And then it's just prompting for your card information. Typically that does take 24 hours to go live. So ads really aren't for anything that's too time sensitive because it does take a while to get approved and then you want it to run to really get its because too, what's cool about these ads in command is that they're algorithmically pushed. So when you press launch, it presents that ad in 100 different ways to people. And then based off the one that's getting the most clicks, so let's say the front of the house got the most clicks or the kitchen, it reformulates your ad and constructs it to the most engaged version, which is so cool. And all your leads that come in just get right into command so that they're right into your database. You don't have to go exporting them for Facebook and figure out how to get them in. They're just in there. Any questions on that? Did you have any questions on that? Okay. Okay. Was that helpful at all for your listing? Okay, cool. Oh, cool. Okay. Well, awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear the results. Let me know. Because, yeah. 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 Great question. Great question. Yeah, once it's published, under your programs, I don't have any, but there's going to be it will say each program name that you ran, and you click on it, and they have each their own analytics. So yeah, you can see that in there. And then yeah, when you run these ads, you probably will not see it on your Facebook page, unless you're targeting Charlotte. I mean, and it comes up for you because you're a realtor, so you might be typing in Zillow and stuff like that. So it might, yeah. But in general, if you're targeting outside, you will never see it on your page. So you will only see the analytics. So that is in it's in this part. Hold on. You're selecting that under lead settings. In Smart Plans, this one. So for this, I use the long-term nurture for it. But I mean, to be extra impactful with this, what you could also do is like in the Smart Plan section. Actually, wait, let me think. Actually, I think we have one. So we use one for our clients, and I'd be happy to share this with you all because it's in our library. Just I have to figure out the name real fast. Oops. I think it's, oh no, there's two. Hold on. Okay, yeah, this is the one. Okay, it's the one that, it's the one I published, not through Leisha, that's why. So if you search, in Smart Plans, in the library section, if you search for JuLeah Designs, we have this Facebook ad follow-up one that we use for our clients. You will need to switch some things out, so I'll show you where. But basically, so when we set up the long-term nurture, again, that one is just like giving you tasks. This one would, once they click learn more and they submit their contact, they would automatically receive an email saying, what you think. So that's this one. It's by me. Yeah, it's by Jules Bass. And then it's Facebook ad follow-up JuLeah Designs. Click add Smart Plan and we can download it. Then once you download it, it's going to be in my Smart Plans at the top. And then click, and it's going to be on the top of your list if you just downloaded it, but click the pencil icon to the far right of it to open it up so you can see what it's doing and we can add your own info to it. So basically we created one that's like, hey, I wanted to see if you had any question about the property you saw on Facebook, keeping it more evergreen. So no matter what property you run that for, this can just send to them. And then we have like to view more, check out my app with this like merge field so it will fill in with your info. If you want to though, if you click that pencil icon, or first if you click on the step, right, and you see on the right, and then the pencil icon, if you wanted to like add a little signature with your name or whatever, you can totally edit this to you. And I would probably just do like my name and phone number since I'm emailing this, and they could just click reply and click save though. Then what it's doing, like that's what sends to them right away. As soon as they click submit on that ad, they already get followed up automatically because we set this up. Then it will wait 3 days and remind you to call them so that you reach out to them. And then the final step, this is the part that we do need to edit, is it sends one more email. So either you could just delete this step if you really don't want it existing. You can just, and it saves you work. Or if you click on this email step and click the pencil icon, just changing these hyperlinks to be your, like, this is click here to search for homes on your computer. So your website URL and then your app URL is what it's prompting for. But if you want to, I would just, yeah, you can just click on this whole day and just click delete and delete. So at least they receive an email, you get reminded to call them, and then your next follow-up is, totally based off how you want to proceed. Yeah, like this, yeah, or you can make a copy if you wanted to too, so that you have like two versions,
Yeah.
but just like name it so you know which one to pick. And then of course, like with any of these smart plans, you can also add to them. So like if you wanted it to, yeah, send an email, make a call, and then you add a day and you want it to send another email and introduce yourself with your bio, you could make that happen. So you can really customize this to your follow-up system. And with smart plans, like if you kind of spend time at the beginning kind of focusing on building these out, they're in your business forever. So you could just like automate them. All right. Well, that was class today. Hopefully I didn't overwhelm you too much. And with any of this stuff too, right? Just knowing that it can be done in command. Like you can send postcards right through command, right? And then you can go to answers.kw.com and find step-by-step instructions exactly how to walk you through that. So it's more about knowing what you're capable of doing in command, being able to sell that to sellers and listing appointments. And then, yeah, you can like either find the steps or book with us and we can do it together. Yes. Yeah. We're down. We're so down for it. Appreciate it. And thanks for those of you online as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day.